Hey, what's up, everybody? Larry Williams here. Wanted to make a quick video on should young people join the military. And I was in the bookstore this morning, and I saw a young man and his mom going over into the ASVAB section. So, you know, I was just, happy to listen to their conversation where I heard the mother asking him, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And he was like, I think it's the right thing to do, but, I'm not sure. So, me being the person that I am, I walked over there and I introduced myself, hey, my name is Larry Williams. I couldn't help but overheard your conversation about joining the military. And I asked if, him and his mom, if I could give some points and, the goods and the bads and things like that. And, they were open to it. And when I looked at this young man, I swear to you, he looked how I looked when I was 18 years old. It was crazy, same complexion, same thing, and it was just crazy. So I saw the younger version of myself, at his age when I was thinking about joining the military. And so I talked to the young man. I was like, well, what is your plans? What are your goals in life? What do you want to accomplish? And he basically said, he didn't have any plans after high school. He didn't know, he wasn't working, and he didn't know where, he needed guidance, basically. He just didn't know where he was going. And he felt that, he wanted to join the military, but there were some doubts in his mind. So I was talking to him, and I explained to him, with all things in life, every decision we make, you have to take responsibility for life's decision. But I explained to him that you're young. The military is not for everybody. And I was just straight up, because a lot of people can't handle it. They can't handle, the structure, the discipline of what it comes to be a soldier in, the United States Army or Marines, Air Force, Navy, Coast Guard, things like that. And so I explained to him my situation. I was like, look, man, when I was your age, my dad was like, what you gonna do? It's college, military, job, what? So, and I told the young man, I was like, one day I just went to the recruiting office, said, I would like to join the Army. And I explained, what it was like in basic training. I was like, you got to handle, men. He didn't have a father in his life. So it was a single mom. She raised her young man up by herself. So shout out to single moms, And I explained to him, like, you have to be able to be disciplined, because a lot of people these days, a lot of young people, they're, I hate to say it, not all, but some, they feel entitled. You know what I'm saying? The world doesn't owe nobody nothing, basically. So I explained to the young man, you have to be disciplined. You're going to have people telling you things you don't want to do. They're going to tell you when to eat, when to sleep, where to be, what to wear. And that is just the culture of the military. A lot of people can't handle that, man. A lot of people can't handle somebody yelling at them, being in control of their lives, from a certain standpoint. But I told the young man, I was like, it was the best decision I made when I was your age, because it taught me skills. It taught me responsibility. It taught me respect. It taught me, love of country, love of others. And as I was explaining these things to him, his mom, she felt a little bit more comfortable. He felt a little bit more comfortable. And I explained to him, there's no rush. There is no rush to if you want to sign up. I was like, do some research. All branches of the military, they have their advantages, and some disadvantage, But, me being the Army, I was like, yo, man, you'll join the Army. But, but I said, ultimately, it's your decision, what you want to join. But I said, it's the best decision I made, because I feel that if I hadn't joined the military when I was 18, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. You know, it's funny how like sometimes the decisions we make in life, you know, years ago affect us to where we now are in the present. So, you know, I explained everything to him. You know, he felt good about it. You know, and his mom was like, yeah, he came down here. He wanted, because, you know, the recruiter said, you know, you got to take the ASVAB test. And his mom said, yeah, he mowed lawns all summer, you know, to buy stuff, you know, he wanted to come here and buy an ASVAB book. And, you know, and I gave him my number and everything. And I was like, look, Mom, look, you know, young man, you know, if you have any questions whatsoever, you know, call me, because, you know, I believe, you know, as veterans, we want to help guide the next line of veterans. And there's veterans, you know, left and right of me in my neighborhood that, you know, I talk to, I go to, you know, and we sit down and swap stories. And I explained to them also, I was like, you know, do 3 years, you know, when I joined, my contract was 5 years. So, and I was like, you know, those 3 years, you're going to get, you know, skills, you're going to get schooling, you're going to get that GI Bill, man. And I explained to him, you know, look, man, you know, I used that college money and I'm almost done with my master's. I was like, I haven't paid anything really yet until like a couple more months when all that stuff kicks in. And I explained to you, they will pay for your college, you know, so you can take it in the military, and you can take it once you get out. And I basically told him, I was like, join our organization, join the military, and be proud, you know, because you're serving a greater cause, regardless of what people think about our country right now. You know, veterans, we are, I would like to say, our own elite group. You know, not to say we're not better than anybody else, but when you earn this, it is something to be proud of. It is something your family is proud of, you know, and we have, everybody supports the military. You know, I don't care what they say, you know, everybody supports our soldiers and our men and women who are fighting, you know, even as today, you know, we're still overseas. So even, you don't even have to be a young person, you know, if you are an older adult and you still are eligible to do the military and you're thinking about joining it, you know, do I don't know what the minimum is nowadays. You know, I think it was 2 to 3 years, but depending on your job, there's certain, you know, and, you know, contracts you have to do. But anyone can, you know, that is eligible can serve our military. And, you know, it's something to be proud of, you know. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see. I don't think you can see it. Let me get outside real quick. You see? See this flag, man? This hangs every day in my yard, 24/7, 365 days a year. This flag never comes down. And this is something that a lot of my brothers and sisters have fought and died for. And a lot of people are still serving. So, join us. Be proud, serve your country, man. Hold on. So yeah. You know, join our group, man. I see my boy Douglas Huey had chimed in on it. And you know, I know Douglas from Fort Hood. Good man. He's retired too. So I don't care what nobody says. You know, the military is a good choice for someone who doesn't have a plan. You know, it's great, man. I don't have anything to really say bad about the military, because if there was something bad that happened in the military, it probably was, you know, me being who I was young. It was probably because it was my fault, you know, me doing something stupid. So there you have it, you know, quick little story. But I would tell these young kids, man, you know, join the military. It will change you. I'm telling you. I went from the class clown to being serious. You know, I remember my mom saying when she came to my graduation, she was like, "Why is he walking different?" And, you know, now I'm marching, you know, everywhere I go. And sometimes I still find myself marching, because what's instilled in your mind from years and years of training and discipline, you know, you still to this day have some of that stuff that kicked in. So there you have it. Join the military. Become a veteran. Make country proud. Thank you.